Good morning. You'll never believe what woke me up. If you're in the mood for story time, kick back, relax. Because that's all this is. It's a story time of real events and someone who understands the law of attraction, understands that whatever I'm outputting, I'm getting back in people, places, and things. And for me, it's time. This position I have as a unit manager in a nursing facility, a beautiful one at that, one where there are so many loving and caring, like the team I work with, boy, oh boy. And nothing happens by accident, so man, as I think about them, but why I hit the record button is because I'm in the Northeast and it's like 3:30 in the morning, and typically I wake up around this time anyway. But here comes the story time. All right, so for those who want to click off, all I'm saying is it is true that how you feel, what you're thinking, your life is playing out that way. Don't feel bad. Don't worry. Don't panic. It's all good. It's just you take that control back. But then it means that you have to make certain decisions. So my story time hasn't happened. I mean, it's happened. But the people I'm about to share, they don't know yet. But I just felt like I wanted to share this with you. Okay? Because I was in the kitchen. And I got to the kitchen with my laptop, right? Took my laptop. Why do I have my laptop at 3:30 in the morning? Well, Danielle, why do you have your laptop on at 3:30? A work? Yes. Some of you have jobs like this. Waking you up in the middle of the night. Checking your phone. Checking emails. It's no bueno. It's not good. What the heavenly hell are you doing? Anyway, I'll tell you about my day. Okay, so as I play back the moments in time, which you're not supposed to do this, guys, but this is for educational purposes only, because I understand this. I'm gonna pull it together because too many of you are kind of pouring your energy, your time, your focus into things that you like, you enjoy. Like, I love my job. I enjoy my job, but it needs a certain team. You understand? It needs more people like me. And I don't say that selfishly. I do see people like me. I do. That are just like, they don't overgive, but they're so kind that it comes off like you're overgiving, but it just flows. It just flows. It's easy. I can grab this and that, no problem, because you're flowing. That's when you know you're doing what you enjoy. Now, I enjoy my job. I enjoy doing my rounds. I enjoy interacting with the residents, the families. The families are always, and this is the thing. Now, I've created this environment for myself where people are constantly seeking me. They come to me. They will bypass others and come to me. And I'm like, sure. They'll say that's, oh, you're too nice. No, I understand. I understand what that's like. And though I'm not supposed to be the path of least resistance for anybody else, that's why I have to make that decision, because I would be conflicted in myself, meaning I don't have time for that. All right. We don't have time for the back and forth between the mind and the spirit no more fighting. No more fighting. If it says go, you go. Let your spirit lead you. Let the part of you that says, all right, don't do it. And this is where I have to be careful, right? Because I am a manager, a unit manager. So there are a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things that I have to tend to. However, I'm also a nurse. I'm also a caretaker. I'm also someone who's empathetic and understanding. And I'm not the person, although sometimes I'm like, oh, I just really got to get to what I got to get to. If someone's call light is on and they need to be assisted to the restroom, depending on, you know what I mean? Like, that may take some time if someone stops me in the hallway. Of course, in my mind, I'm like, no. But eventually, through the conversation, towards the end, I'm glad I bumped into you. You needed me. You needed my service. You needed me to calm you before you escape. It's just, listen, it's how the universe works, right? Okay. So here's the part where I'm going to share with you how my day was. And I could feel my skin tingling already, because whether I'm supposed to listen, I'm just gonna go with it, all right? Because I can see the nursing station now. I see it now, and I see what I walked into, and it's probably where it started. I walked into confusion, meaning what song was I listening? I was vibing. Yo, had my headphones in. Yo, I was like, yes, let's go. Did I want to be to work? I really want to be there. It wasn't that same, yum yum. Actually, was it? Maybe. I don't remember. Because here's the thing, right? Your life is playing out how you're feeling. You may think you're good. You think you're okay. But then shit's playing out. You're like, hold up. Slow the F down. Slow down. I walked into confusion. Confusion of what? Confusion of a resident has to go in an appointment. Not any resident, honey. A resident that has multiple lawsuits against the company. Yes. Okay. A resident who now is getting frustrated because he's got an appointment, doesn't know what time, who's taking him. Okay. They come to me. Do I make appointments? No. I don't schedule appointments. I have a unit clerk. A unit clerk who, guess what? When I first got there, this is insane, but I'm leaving this place. A unit clerk that just got there. A unit clerk that when I got there, it was presented to me. Honey, you have this unit clerk who will, schedule the appointments, put it on the calendar, set up the transportation. She does other things too, like the charts and the lab book she refills and temperature. They had her doing all types of stuff. Well, not a month or two in, it's 3 floors. The unit clerk on first floor quits. So guess who inherited the rest of the building? Yes, the unit clerk that I was assigned to share an office with. I don't share an office with her. I do not. I cannot sit in there. It's just, no, it's not. I joke and I say, I got undiagnosed ADD. I joke and I say that. But it's because it's like, I'm trying to focus on what I'm doing, and I'm getting information about other things, and the door is open and there's a bathroom and staff are using the bathroom, and they come to the door. Again, like I said, they override. Residents come to the door. I have Literally, and everyone knows this about me. I have a little rolling table, all the universe, thank God. I have a little rolling table with a laptop. With a laptop. Um, Guys, as I'm telling you this, there's so much revelation coming through right now for me personally, because the laptop fell, right? It fell and it broke. I'm not superstitious, right? But here's what happens to the human person, the person, right? You're creating your reality. So my last job, my laptop fell and broke, and that job, I probably experienced my first migraine. Yeah, I remember, and it was bad. It was an assisted living, and I remember there being an empty apartment, and I just saw myself. I remember going into an empty apartment and laying on the floor, curled up in a ball, um, and just feeling awful, and driving home, and I'm vomiting, like symptoms and things I had never experienced, but also doing this work. So I knew it was time to go. So I made the association with the laptop breaking and things like that, like stop. But that's for me, right? Not in the superstitious, oh, it's the devil, but it's kind of like, hey, boo, hey. That's how I take it. So not even a month ago, this young lady, very well endowed, honey, Hartokis, darling. Oh my gosh, she denies it. And I know she'll kill me for this video. The truth, I mean, what is the God honest truth? I don't know what the God honest truth is. She tells me the chair knocked my laptop off the desk. But I said it was her boom boom that knocked the laptop off the desk. And she asked me, why did I have my laptop on the desk? And I said, I didn't say anything. I probably laughed. I laughed. I didn't say anything. I made it a joke until it wasn't funny. Like, she was just like, okay. You know. But anyway, laptop broke, but it was still working. It was still working. And I'm not very task oriented. Like, I'm not like shoot emails and all that. Some people are very good at that. I'm just like not the person. So when it broke, but it was still working, like it was like exposed wires, and it wasn't terrible. It didn't look terrible. Bottom line is, I was told, hey, yeah, email the administrator, you'll get a new one. All right, Bob. I was told that twice. Did I do it? No, I never did it. Okay. So anyway, I'm sharing this because when I was in the kitchen at 3:33, I'll get to it. When I was in the kitchen at 3:33, no. I said I was going to get up. I was in the window. Because I woke up. Right. I woke up because I realized, as I opened my eyes and I was thinking to myself, I know what to do when I wake up. What do I do when I wake up? I'm not, what do you call it? I don't like meditate for the detachment type thing. It's meditation in my being. Like, I'm talking to, I call my relationship, where I say daddy God or, spirit. And usually songs play for me. Lots of old religious songs most recently. Lots of old, because I was born in, not born in the Catholic faith, right? And I remember that as a child, I was in private school, so they played the guitar. So a lot of those songs with the music teacher, and they're all coming back once I sang in church. So everything has meaning. Everything has meaning. I hear, where was I? Right. It's such a good, it's just so good, and there's so many components to it. All right, so laptop falls a couple months ago. I didn't put the email in, but I guess I let it go. I joked about, I said, oh, it must be time to go. So the reason I said, oh, it must be time to go is because now that becomes a very personal thing between me and my higher self that's attracting on my behalf. That's just how my understanding is, because You can't make this stuff up. So like I said, I walked into confusion that doesn't really relate to me, right? Because I don't have anything to do with appointments. Now, the lady I share the office with, let's not get too personal here. Let's just say um she does have a strong, faith, because again, a lot of people that I'm around, you have some sort of relationship. You wouldn't be that close to me if you didn't. You understand? So, especially those that I like. There's some people, you just, but um bottom line is, she's not somebody I feel I should be calling on the phone as she's on her way to work. I thought about it before I did it. Why? I said I share an office with her. I've heard her gripe about it before. I've heard her say, I can't get a day off. Even on my days off, they text me, oh, but it's okay. Yeah, but then you're complaining about it. It doesn't please you. I mean, you want to help. See, I'm not here to tell anybody who or what they are. I'm not in anyone. That's another thing. We need to stay in our lane. Don't try to figure out what someone feels or how they are acting and this is what it means. It's too complicated. You have enough on your own going on. And what should be going on is consistent awareness and how am I doing right now? How am I feeling right now? What's going on? Because however I'm doing, it's showing up. And if it's showing up and I'm not okay or I'm not pleased with it, I need to check myself. So me, I get a mixture. You want to know what my mixture is? My mixture is I love my job and I'm able to entertain a lot of conversations. However, my work kind of like falls behind. But guess how the universe works? I have a DON that's been in the business for 30 years and she is yummy delicious. Yummy delicious. Sweet as pie, right? But a job that makes her go there. The job takes her there. She's nice, but her job says, listen, ma'am, I need you to do this because when you do it, when the state people come, all is well. We got to work as a team. Yes, we love to care and all, but the paperwork that those Mars and TARs and treatments and medication, especially medication administration, the proper way. You let a surveyor observe a nurse or anyone doing things improperly. It's a tag, it's a deficiency, it's all a business. So you can understand the pressure people feel depending on the role they have. So I'm used to that pressure, honey. I thought I ran from it. I thought I ran from it, y'all. I mean, I did. I left where I was. I was a director of nursing at an assisted living, right? So that's a different vibe. That's a little bit more relaxed. Well, it's just money. That's all it is. They have more money, so there's more private, like it's like we get more attention, kind of like the ratio. So your needs get met faster. You get service in the dining room, like it's like table service. It's nice. You have a cook. It's cutesy. Let your money run out, baby. You in a nursing home. And I laugh because guess what? Guess what world we're going to have? A world without these goddamn institutions. They're gross. Why do I say they're gross? The way they're run. I understand it because guess what? I work for a company back in New York. And if anybody knows, anybody knows Geraldo Rivera That's all I remember because, when you get the job, they tell you about the history, right? So Geraldo Rivera, which was this reporter, exposed how people were being treated, people with disabilities, mental disabilities, physical disabilities. They were all put in this like room and bad times. But we find ourselves here. And granted, I understand we don't want to go back to that, but all that takes away from the care. Because you have people taking care of people. And, thank God for AI. Yes, yes. Accept it. You gotta because a human, and because I understand what it's like to be human, bro, I understand what it's like to be human. So we started off with the chaos, no problem. I had a resident that had a fall the night before. My DON comes upstairs and she says, "Hey, I'm going to go check out the resident. You want to come with me?" I said, "Sure." Grab my gloves. But guess who else popped up? The ADON and the wound nurse. They're here because they're here to check someone's sacrum that I also wanted to take a peek at because I take care of her and blah, blah, blah. So two things, and I'm like, all right, so I'm in the middle of the hallway, fine. It's quick, in and out. But no, my DON came out really quick. She had a cup of medication in her hands. Where was the nurse? The nurse was dealing with a family member who wants to take their mother out. Our mother doesn't look right. She doesn't feel, something's off. We'll take her to the hospital right now. DON steps in. She says, hey. How about you write down your information? Why are you writing down your information? It's in PCC. It doesn't matter. The nurse is right there. She could have just been like, "Oh, no, I'll just call you." Get him out of here. I'll call you because anyway, bottom line, let me give you a story. Let me not add my opinions and things like that. All right. So DON says, "Hey, write your information down and I'll call the doctor," things like that. Anyway, long story short, she got she's good. She got enough information and she wanted to tell him, "Hey, don't worry about it. We got it." So she said, "I'm going to call the doctor. Doctor going to call you back. You can speak to the doctor yourself." What did she do right there? Boom. She said, "All right, you bye-bye." I love that. But she had a mission, baby. She had that medicine cup in her hand with some pudding. Now, anyone who's a nurse, well, I don't know about hospitals, guys, but you're not supposed to leave that med at the bedside, honey. There is something about you making sure that medication is swallowed. And I caused the deficiency, so I know. One of my first jobs, I had to surveyor. And he caught me. He got me when he was like, "Oh, I'll watch your next med pass." So I rushed through the first one. And at the time, there were 2 residents per room. Some maybe 4, but at that specific room was 2 residents. One had knee patches, one needed meds. So I handed the one with the meds, honey, slapped the knee patch on, grabbed the cup. Yes, grabbed the cup from the young lady and left the room. And he just ding, 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 ding. Boom. You went to the first one. You gave her meds. You didn't stay with her till she swallowed her meds. You didn't wash your hands before you put the knee patch. I was like, oh my God. No one said anything to me at the time as a nurse. I didn't even get written up. Only to get positions where I'm like, what are you doing? So the nurse got sent home. She told me first, she's like, "Danielle, come here." I went in the office. I was like, she's like, "I found these at the bedside." And I was like, but guess what? This is not the first time. That's the thing. She's giving chance after chance after chance to this nurse. Like, she really is and that's my thing, guys. It's like, your energy is important, okay? Your energy is important. I can't put personal things of the people that I love and care about out. But I do envision us on a stage somewhere. We're all talking about our stories because eventually it'll all make sense. It'll all make sense. But just understand that I observe a lot of things and they share a lot of things where I'm like, oh yeah, that's that job. That's that job. That's that stress. That's that frustration. That's that overwhelming. That's that doing too much. That's that taking care of others. taking on everybody else's responsibilities, everybody else's problems, especially parents. You know, you got these kids, you gotta worry about them. If you're married, even if you're not, if you're living with some, it's so much energy. It's so much that you have to filter through. It's so much that you're like exposed to on a daily, and it comes so natural. You understand? So I look at Dawn and I'm like, so I gotta get on that cart, huh? All right. I gave her a hug. She's like, I'm gonna call her downstairs. She didn't call her for like a good, I thought she was gonna call her immediately. She didn't call for a good, well, felt like 40 minutes. Meanwhile, Shorty Doo-Wop doing her thing. I'm in my own world because I had confusion, right? Because then now, by the time now, you know, Kirk is there, and the family member that's upset is there. So I'm in my feels. I'm in my feels because this family member, I have to deal with. I have to now make sure things are cool. And the God honest truth is, I can't sit and follow rumors, but they're to this point because they've been saying it for a long time. So that's all frustration and stuff that I'm picking up on, right? Because that's annoying if you have a family member or someone that you love and you have them someplace where they say, hey, we're going to take care of your member, blah, 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 blah. And it's just not quite, it's not hitting. And a lot of the people that I work with, you know, not myself, I never say that. I never say, well, why don't you take them if you could take care of, oh my God. When I mentioned Geraldo Rivera, that was one of my first jobs. One of my first jobs was working with the physically and they were physically disabled. They had Down syndrome. They were in wheelchairs and TBIs, and I worked with all of them. God, you imagine putting a child, sometimes it happens when they're children, and it's like, if they found a group home or they found relief or something, my God, take them home. How about you go home? How about you go home and let's replace you with somebody that actually wouldn't say that? Because all you need is love. We got it. But yeah, it's true. It is love, because you wouldn't say that if you love. You would say, hey, let me help you out. I understand. And it's none of your business. Whether somebody got dumped there or some family is overwhelmed, it's none of your business. You signed on the dotted line that you would come in and take care of these people. So anyway, I felt what the family member felt. And I also think that I was nervous for the nurse. The other nurse was texting me, one of the nosy ones, sending me emojis about what's about to go down. Yo, it's a crazy world, bro. Like, that's insane. Insane. So anyway, she's a pre-pourer. She do everything, guys. Anyway, she handing out her little cup. She beep, beep, beep. Who knows? They probably at the bedside or not. But I knew I was about to hop on that cart. What I should have done, I didn't do. But a lot was happening. Anyway, long story short, I didn't even get a report, bro. She was pissed. She walked out. She did text, I'm sorry. I love her too. She too is someone that is very special. But it's time to go. And I've said it. You gotta go. This isn't for you. I love you, but the expectation of the company, the expectation of the residents, it's a lot. I can't even do it. And here's why. When I got on that cart, honey. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. You want to know what happened? It's the it's the job that I have, the manager. It's like I get on the cart. It's not like she's now the unit manager. It's not like, oh, she's now the nurse. It's like, oh, there's Danielle. Hey, here's Danielle, unit manager. Here's my problem. Here's my situation. This is what happened last night. They all came one by one by one. Plus, I got meds to do. Plus, I got blood sugars and insulins and people going out on appointments. And I, as the unit manager, know the expectation I have of the nurses, right? I expect you to hand these medications out on time. I expect you to assist the aides, right? Pull-ups, transfers. I expect you to do the paperwork. I expect a progress note every time the resident leaves the facility and when they come back from the facility. If they went on an appointment, I need to know what the recommendations are and put that in a progress note. I was sending someone to the hospital. Do you have any idea how many assessments have to? 2 assessments have to be completed, plus the progress note. I mean, it all worked itself out, but understand that all this is going through my head. All these like, and I'm just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So it makes sense. It made sense the whole time it was happening. But I've learned to shut it down. There's always tomorrow. You know what? And it took me a while to get there, and I'm there. I ain't got no choice now because I'm about to share with you why the hell I hit the record button. So how's about, did I finish my day? My day ended chaotic. I mean, I was still passing meds at 2, which wasn't late. It was like them 1 o'clock meds that I had never been on that side. It was my first time on that side. But guess the type of nurse I have. I have the type of nurse that comes in at 6 o'clock in the morning. She signed out all her TARs. Most of them are. Like, so that part was easy. There was like a few things. Like, it was just, as a unit manager, I saw things. I was like, oh my God. As Danielle, I said, huh, interesting. You're doing the job, but you're not doing the job the way you're supposed to do it. However, what is it that you're not? Maybe she's not thinking she'll attract suspension or going home. Like, for good, being dismissed. I promise you, everybody kind of sort of says it's time. When I say it's time, it's because, again, I can't share too many personal things, but emotionally, the person isn't okay. Physically, there's ailment. So there's things I observe and things that people share with me that I'm like, I could, because I was there. And I realized focus on those things or other things are misalignment. So unknowingly, you're trying to fix things, but you're just kind of like messing yourself up. So it's supposed to be gentle and easy. Like God is sweet and kind. And I don't want to personify God by saying sweet and kind. I just want you to understand the words sweet and kind and compassionate and understanding. Like tap into those type of words for the sake of the energy. That's not what's happening out there. Out there. It just try to just simplify what's going on. Like you're on a planet. You're a being on this planet. This is how it works. Seems to me how I feel plays out. How I'm looking at things plays out. If I'm mostly optimistic, things that play out please me. They work out for me. I don't know. I mean, I do know. I do know. I know for myself, and I'm here because why not know it for yourself? Why not have things always work out for you? Right? What's wrong with that? I mean, as I'm up there, my coworkers are, you need help, girl? You all right? I thought I was all right. I mean, I was all right, right? Because I'm Danny and I'm all right. But the job and the responsibilities and the understanding I have, right? It's like this is what we do to the nurses on a day-to-day. One of the residents' Foleys came out. When a resident's Foley comes out, you got to do an incident report. You got to do skin assessment, pain assessment, changing condition assessment. Call the doctor, call the family, write a progress note. When a Foley comes out. So when they now are replacing that Foley and not doing all that, you can't blame them. You can't. So when I say this job is not for you, there's other people that'll do it. They are. So move over. Move over. Go do something you like. Go find some. Oh, but it doesn't have it. I don't get paid. So why you? If it's something you like, you will get paid. It's when you doing something you don't like or what you think you should be doing. Trying to keep up. Oh, so and so's doing it. Let me do it. It's not gonna work for you. It's gotta be genuine. It's gotta be genuine. Can you make it to the top of working? Yeah. But the word is lazy. Not lazy bad, but lazy like, you know what I mean? Like a newborn lazy. You know how they're just there and they're so cute, right? And they have no teeth. And they just, Yes, honey. You hungry? You need to be changed. You need to be burped. You need a nap. You need a bath. Like, that's it. You grow up, you're supposed to keep doing that for yourself. You hungry? That's all. The role switches. It's no longer mommy's job. Now it's, take responsibility and do it with your higher self, who is uniquely intertwined with the universe that can bring you anything at your disposal. That's the promise. And that's why I hit the record button, because I was in the kitchen, I was in the window, and I looked at the clock and it was 3:30. Yeah, 31. And I said, at 3:33, you're going to get up. Now, in the meantime, I had plugged in the laptop because it was dead. And, I noticed the screen part was just a little looser than it's been, right? So I turned it on. I walked away because sometimes I press the power button at work. It doesn't always, I got to press it. Some laptops, you got to learn how to turn them on. So I'm thinking that's what it is. I press it again. The screen is black. Do you want to know why I'm pressed to turn on my laptop? Girl, do you know, there's assessments that need to be done when you send someone to a hospital. But it's a lot. You got to take them out the system. You got to quick ADT them, but you also got assessments that have to go with the person. Now, I'm a unit manager. I've been in this facility and in this position where I understand, like, okay, let's not worry about paperwork. Get the person the help they need. Stuff like that could always be faxed over. You could always call. You get verbal about, don't, stress yourself out. How's about I open them knowing this, left work, and never filled them out. Literally blank. Anybody who's like, what the hell did Danielle do? I got her out. She getting cared and taken for right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really forgot. It slipped my mind. I was so determined to get out of there. And I just knew, I everybody's coming to me with all their, good and bad stories. I mean, it's a lot of laughter, believe me. But there's family members I know that have like the CEO's number in their pocket and they like to, it's a lot. But I slammed my laptop closed yesterday. I'm out. Because another Foley came out. And the nurse, I was like, listen, you got to do the risk report. You got to do CIC. And she's just like, and I'm just like, don't you have to go home? Oh my God, I feel so bad. But I was like, I learned, because normally I'd be like, I'll do it. I'll do it. But last week I put my foot down. I was like, no, I'm not here as your assistant. I'm not here as yours. You signed up for this job. They said this is what you have to do. You said yes. So if you continue to do it, that's on you. Don't now see me and think I'm supposed to just now do it for you. No. And it feels bad to say that, but it's like, come on. Like, that's not happening. Not to mention, this is the sidebar. Not to mention, that position most people don't keep for a very long time, and I'm gonna leave it there. It's a revolving door. Anyway, so where was I? Oh yeah, I packed up my stuff, blah, left. Cause my kids are texting me, I need this, I need that. Can you and it's prom season. It's prom season. Listen. I ain't even gonna say nothing. I'm not even gonna say anything. Why? Why say anything? Yeah. I'm here in Salt and Pepper. It's none of your business. Exactly. It's none of my business what anybody does with prom. I gotta worry about not worry. And here we go with the worry. No. Let me tell you something. If I have learned anything, is to hand that right back to my daughter. Don't you put your stress on me. The fact that you can't find it. Get it together. Whether they love or hate me, I don't care. I don't care. You're not doing that to me. You're not doing that to me. The same relationship I create with the universe, you create with the universe. What people do is they create it with each other. And they pull on each other and have high expectations. And you're supposed to do this. And, oh, this is your job. Stop. Stop. It's got to stop. You got to be self-sufficient. You hear the birdie? Birdie said yes. Self-sufficient. So, yeah, when my laptop was black and I said, I guess it is what it is. Everything I was about to catch up on, which was a progress notes that were probably not completed, certain things that needed to be, just kind of like, I just wanted to review. Spirit said, nope. And I said, well, I guess I got to put in my 2 weeks, baby, because if this is how it's supposed to be, and it's not. And here's the thing. It's not even like, oh, you guys put all this on me no. It's the fact that I have to be different. I see what it does to you guys. And I can feel what it does to me when I wear those shoes. So it's up to me to make that decision. Now, I did it before. I have a video where I shared I did it before. And my knees were a little wobbly and life got a little shaky. You understand? But this time, nah. This time, even if it comes, I'm going to, you know how a home run, you ever seen baseball? And they knock that ball out the park? Or that 3-point shot with a game that is a 3-point difference, they're tied. You understand? Or that goal, man, when you're watching soccer, and that it's those boom. Listen, that's what I'm doing. I'm trusting God because God said the promise is true. And I don't know about anybody else's, but listen, to me, life is not supposed to be like that. You are not supposed to be bombarded like that. And we do it to each other. We do it to ourselves. No. And I have to be different. I have to say, no. God says this way. And I'm so more aligned with spirit, especially when I'm by myself. Why wouldn't I prefer that over anything else? Not that you should be alienated from people, but you should make the decisions to, hey, maybe this focusing on this thing or doing this thing or engaging in maybe this isn't for me. And make that decision from a place of peace. You understand? It's got to be from a place of peace. It can't be a rash decision. It cannot be, I'm fed up, because you literally attract the same one. So when I said earlier, I attracted a similar job. Yes, I did. I did. But this one has so many perks. So many perks, so many things that I didn't have. It's more of a team where before I felt alone. So I'm seeing how, oh, this is how I used to experience this at the last place. But because I aligned myself, this is how it is. You understand? So that's my job after I share this story moving forward, is to see how things are working out so I stay aligned. You understand? It's looking on the bright side. It's laughing instead of getting upset. I mean, you know, just, my God. You think I'm at that point where I'd laugh if someone passes on? I don't think it's funny, but it's funny, you know? Funny how life is, funny how you're here one minute, gone the next. It's like, wow, why not make it the best it can be? If it's eventually going to end. Or not, right? I watch Abraham. I think there was somebody that Abraham Hicks. I've watched Abraham Hicks videos, and I remember listening to one person that said something like, "Can we live forever?" She kind of responded like, "Yeah, if you align with it." Listen, I don't know if I want to. I don't know. I met this lady some years ago. Don't really know much about her. She used to do my hair, and she asked me for my birthday, and I gave her my birthday, the time, and she was brought to tears. She was brought to tears. She's like, "Do you know who you are? And you have a choice. You have a choice if you want to stay on earth and kind of like go through this again, or if you want to ascend, like kind of like be like a guardian angel." Listen, I don't know nothing about nothing. If somebody knows stuff like that, then that's cool. That'd be cool. But I've come to the place where I don't need that. I don't need that necessarily. It's just a curiosity, kind of like, interesting. Interesting how you pull all that together. But wow, it's just amazing to me how the downloads people get, and the specificity of them. Like, it's like so different, which is so amazing because we're so different. We're so diverse here on this planet. And all I know is God is good. What you believe is God, is good. As long as it feels good. As long as it's promoting love, companionship, understanding. And you don't have to understand. When I say understanding, it's like you don't need to like understand like down to the T what somebody is going through, or You don't have to like dive in. When we say understand and compassion, you think you have to sit there and cry with the person and like, loathe with the person and all this. You do not have to do that. Understanding meaning, we all are creating our realities and it's okay. This person may have pain now and is suffering now, and it'll be okay. It's okay, especially when they realize, oh, I'm experiencing this physical pain because I've been having pain emotionally, whether it's sadness or hurt, thinking about things of the past that used to make you sad or hurt, present day, sometimes future, sometimes being so sensitive, you're hurt for others. You imagine what happens to a mother. There was a news, I think a child drowned. Boom. You imagine how many emotions come along with that? Whether you had a drowning experience, oh my God. Whether you yourself have seen it or have lost someone to, like, it's just so many different things that come along with it. And some people have no, some people meaning like, let's say a mom has a child and it's like, having heard that and depending on how much was circulating around it, now may be nervous for their child, fearful for their child. You understand? It's like this cycle, that is happening on a continuous level. Like, it's always happening. How we're feeling, how things are playing out. So pay attention to like where you're mostly, right? Don't be all like perfect. My daughter struggles with this. She's like, I feel like I'm micromanaging I'm like, no, you're not micromanaging. You understand? And don't listen. Don't my she asks me questions. I'm not here, pushing an agenda, as I was told once. I just can see it. And I say, babe, I show her in her life how things are playing out. So she could because you can't just talk this into, they have to experience it. So once you experience it, then it's different. So, wow, this is a long video. Listen, if you sat here for 52 minutes, boy, oh boy. Anyway, to be continued, y'all. So, yeah, I was in the kitchen, brought to tears, and I said, let me hit the record button and share the decision that myself and I made. It's gonna catch up, it's just listen to the self, relax, deep breathe, do whatever you have to do to get yourself feeling like in a state of ease, and then do your thinking, and then do your so-called problem solving, but you're more focused on the solution. What would be better? What's the best thing right now? What's the easiest thing right now? You understand? Yeah. What would bring me the most peace? What would bring me the most satisfaction? Yeah. And relax into it. Okay. Yeah. All right. I hope y'all have a really, really beautiful day. Yeah. Bye.